Hi again, welcome back for another battle report. This time my Night Goblins are up against the Lizardmen. I was hoping for an easy game. I played this guy before, and he brought a list I've not played against, so that was quite interesting. He ended up bringing a Thunder list. So let's have a look at the battle. So we're just doing a battle line, and this is the table setup. We've got two buildings in the centre, two hills, and two mysterious forests. Both mysterious forests, in case I don't mention later on, end up being wild woods. But overall don't pay too much into it. It just kills a few squigs on my side. So on my opponent's side, he's got two 10-man Lizardmen cohorts. They have javelins and shields, and on the other flank he maxed out with absolutely everything else. So he's got two Stegodons, Basiladon with the laser gun. He's got a Skarbet on Carnosaur, and he's got a cohort of skinks with one crocspaw on it. Opposite that, on my side of the board, I have most of my army, and here I've got one stone thrower. I've got unit 24 squig herders, 18 squigs, 6 herders, 30 gobos with spears, 1 fanatic, a troll, another 30 gobos with spears, 1 fanatic, and I have my BSB and my general in there. And on my left hand side I have my 29 archers and my wizards in there, and I have a war boss on Cave Squig and my goblin dude over. So my opponent wins first turn, moves up his skinks on the left hand side here into the wood, and again this is a wild wood, but he gets away with it. And on the right hand side he moves up all his monsters, moves up his skinks, and that's about it really. I think he does a bit of shooting, but not much in the way of magic, because my level 2 managed to stop his attempts at using the laser on the top of the Basiladon. In my turn I just back up. I'm not really in any mood to quickly engage with the thunder monsters. I send my troll out onto the left hand side there, just so I can get any charges on the skinks, try and drive them off. I don't suffer from any animosity either, so that was ideal. And on the left I move my archers into the tower along with the wizard. I won't have to suffer from any animosity from then on. And I've got a cave squig running after the skinks. So for my magic I got the Vindictive Glare and Gifted the Spider God. My wizard blasted up these skinks here, who then failed the panic check and fled. This is how we're looking at the end of my turn and the beginning of the Lizardmen's second turn. My shooting I think was pretty much ineffective. My Doom Diver scattered off, and so did my Stone Thrower, which is a shame because I think I'm going to lose my Stone Thrower pretty quick now. So in the Lizardman's turn, the Sword Skarbet swings out onto the far flank, brought up with the skinks as well. There's not a lot I can do there at the moment. I've only got my squigs holding that flank, which isn't great. And in the centre I think he just stumbles up with the rest of his beasties to shoot or use the magic spells on them. Over here the skinks move up to the wall. In the shooting phase they'll throw the javelins at my poor troll and get 4 or 5 poisons out of the 10 attacks and very quickly kill my troll off. The giant bows on one of the Stegodons managed to go through and kill off a handful of goblins. And with 10 javelins on the other side, he manages to get another 4 poisons. So there goes my stone thrower. I've got my squigs aren't bothered because they're immune to cyclone. And at the end of the Lizardman turn, it's looking something like this. Oh, also I think in the background there, those skinks rally this turn, so they'll be coming back again. In my turn I reform with my squigs, making sure I've got as many of the beasties in their front arc as I can. I don't think anything will come around the flank. My only option here is to hope that my artillery kills off the Carnosaur, because I should be able to deal with the skinks on the flank and then come around to help the rest of the gobos. The giant cave squig given up chasing the other skinks who had now rallied, which is unfortunate, but he's going to continue through and chase off the skinks that are in the centre of the board here. So over here the Doom Diver saves me and manages to kill off the Skarbet, as well as putting a couple of wounds on the Carnosaur as well, which is ideal. My squig should be able to deal with him. And this is how it looks at the end of my turn. So my opponent comes in with his Carnosaur and decides not to charge him with his Skinks as well. He's going to be swinging them around the flank to hopefully get some flank charges on my Gobbos to support the thunderous charge of the rest of the beasties. So when the Carnosaur charged, forced me to release one of my Fanatics, so I lung them out in front of the monsters up there. It's the only place they could really do any damage. I was thinking about throwing them through my Squigs, trying to get Skinks, but wouldn't do enough damage for them to be worth 25 points worth of Fanatic for killing Squigs over Skinks there. So the rest of the field's looking something like this. You move Skinks up to the centre there, and that causes me to release another Fanatic for my General's unit. Again, I throw them out against the monsters, in a vain hope they can do some damage out there, make it a little bit easier for the Goblins to fight them in combat. But that wasn't to be, as the Stegodon crew and the Casilodon crew all threw their javelins to kill off the two Fanatics that were throwing about there. Oh, this was fantastic. Carnosaur being only initiative 2 meant it struck after my Squigs, and the Squigs were able to kill it outright before it even got to strike. So I turn to face the Skinks. The Skinks flee in the due to the panic check, so they're actually slightly further back than that. So I can chase them, just get rid of them, and then my Squigs come back to help out. So this is how we look at the end of Lizardman turn, start of my turn. Over here I charged the Skinks and Crocscore, then they had to flee and go straight off the table. And this is the rest of my movement. The Gobbo Spearman unit in between the Squigs there and my General, they failed animosity and just squabbled and stood there. My General backed off. I brought my archers out, left my wizard in the tower, and my Squig, Cave Squig Rider, he's managed to get into combat there with these Skinks. Here's just the first shot of that. And again, my wizard used Vindictive Glare. That's the larger version to get 3d6 strength 3 hits. I managed to push through 2 wounds on the Stegodon. My Goblin Doom Diver misfired. I can't shoot it this turn or next, which is slightly annoying. And even with toughness 4 and a 4 up, 5 up, the Skinks still managed to get a wound through, but I win, and they pass their leadership test at -1, I think. So this is the end of my turn, beginning of Lizardman turn. The only thing I'm not really dreading here, is my Squigs, which now have a flank charge on from the monster Stegodon there. There's not much I could do about it. I need to get rid of the Skinks, they're gone now. But I just have to hope we don't charge them. Also my Goblins in the centre, they're not going to stand much of a chance now. They even get a triple charge against them. But other than that, as long as I keep them away from my main points, I should be okay. And my opponent brings both Stegodons into my mid Goblin unit that have been squabbling for the last couple of turns. These guys on the left flank, which have mostly been forgotten, are now running up to try and take some cheap shots at my Goblin Doom Diver. I don't really want that. It's not a fair trade, really. So that's 60 points of Skinks on 85-point War Machine. And this is the end of the movement. Again, I think he tries to get his laser spell off. It still doesn't work. My level 2's managed to stop him. I think I've used up my Dispel Scroll now just to make sure I stops it. He's using 6 dice, but is unable to get an irresistible force. For my Goblins that I've got to hope they remain steadfast and hold there for a turn, I can turn my Squigs round and bring them in to help the fight, and hopefully get some of these units poisoned, probably the archers, and try and take out some of these Stegodons. Yeah, these Stegodons went to town on my Gobbos. They had both had devastating charge as well, so they had +1 attack on the charge. So between that and the crew, Thunderstomps, I lose all but 5, but it's just enough to keep me steadfast. My Warlord's still nearby, and they actually managed to hold. This time I managed to kill off a few more, no more extra wounds in return. These guys break and I catch them. So this is how we're looking for the start of my turn. As for the Goblin issue, my other units should be relatively safe. Once these Stegodons have destroyed those goblins in my turn, they're not going to be able to turn to face left or right because they're too close to each other to keep the 1 inch apart. This is one of the downsides of the monsters. You have to get that close to charge by small frontage, and then they'll be kind of railroading each other and unable to move. So hopefully it'll give me 2 turns just to be able to get my squigs in and start supporting the rest of my army. So this is my turn. I simply turn the squigs around. My other goblins move back a bit. My battle standard and my general step out of the unit, and my goblin shaman I think has another go at the Basilodon, but don't get anything through. That guy's got a 2+ armor save. My archers do the same to little avail. My squig hopper I think has gone left now to try and chase the other guys. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can just see the little chap in the background there, heading up towards the forest. And in the combat, they easily wipe out the last of my goblins with no wounds in return. But as I said, they're railroaded now, so they can only face forwards or backwards. And all my units, we checked, are all out of arc. So that was perfect for me. Now I have to choose which way to go, and I can start reacting to what he's doing. So, in my opponent's turn, he moves like this. He wants to get the dual charge on my other gobbos, and use the Basilodon to protect him from the squigs. He uses the magic again to try and blast my squigs, but again, doesn't manage to get it through. My +2 helping me out here with his dice rolls, and to be honest, my opponent's been rolling really bad for his winds of magic as well, so he hasn't been getting anything to put into it really. I think he fires with the javelins this time, but only managed to get 1 through, so I'm quite happy there. In my turn, I charge my squigs straight into the Basilodon. After it went to the Carnosaur, I have a good feeling they should do some damage to this brute. My Warboss and Cave Squig also managed to catch up with the other skinks with a reroll charge. I think I managed to get a 14-inch charge off this time with this guy. In my magic phase, I try and push through another Vindictive Glare onto the wounded Stegodon with no avail. But I also put poison to my archers. In the shooting phase, I try and bring my Goblin Doom Diver back this turn, and he has a shot on one of these guys, but doesn't do anything and floats miles off. But my poison bow shots managed to kill off one of the Stegodons. In the combat, I managed to push through 2 wounds on the Basilodon, including my charge, my rank, he did a couple of wounds to me. I won by 1, but a damn thing held. And over here, I think my goblins got the taste for skink now. Managed to kill a couple off with a charge as well, beat them, and ran them down. So, onto my opponent's turn. He declares a charge with his Stegodon against my goblins, who then fail their rerollable 8. No, rerollable 7. That's probably right. Rerollable 7 leadership test, and flee. My opponent then tries to redirect. Fails to redirect, so charges after them and wipes them out. And this ends his turn 6, facing my Goblin Horde. In this combat, it didn't go well for the squigs. I pushed through 5 wounds, but he managed to pass all 5 4-up saves. In return, I lost 3 squigs, and lost the combat by 2, which put me on a 3-up leadership test, which of course I fail, and so my squigs go wild. And oh yeah, they actually managed to wipe out the Basilodon. They got D6 plus 1, I think, hits. I think I got 5 hits on him. Wounded with enough, and got 2 wounds through, and killed off the Basilodon. So my little piranhas did very well. So my turn, I do a fast reform, and do as much shooting as I can. Goblin Doom Diver, magic, poison arrows, everything I can, and I only managed to do 2 wounds on the Stegodon. So that was it. That's how the game ended. We totted it up. I still have a lot of points left because I have quite a few points in my characters, and yeah, not bad at all. I think the Squigs won it for me, or maybe the Doom Diver was quick kill off from that Scar veteran. So again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video. just leave anything you want in the comments so I can change them out and improve my videos. This is only the second Warhammer one, so I've still got a few more to do. I've got a Saga Battle Report coming up soon, so I shall see you then. Okay guys, thou Alice.